Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Monday workout. We're going to start off strong today. Should be a really fun week, and today will be one of the more challenging leg days, so just get ready. We're going to start off with 30 calories for the guys, 24 calories for the ladies. Warm up on your choice of row, bike, or ski, and then I want you to get a couple rounds through the Chaos March. Is a fun one for working on your core and your balance, right? So I've got a medium weight kettlebell and a band through the handle, another medium weight kettlebell, same size, band through the handle. And then I'm just gonna grab on the bands so that as I'm standing here, what I don't want is the kettlebells to hit the ground. And we're gonna walk down and back, just a high knee march with those bands, or with those bands in my hands and the kettlebells hanging there. And the more I move around, the more those kettlebells move around, and then I've gotta kind of react to the small movements that the kettlebells make, especially when I'm turning around, changing feet. So there's a little bit of extra demand on the core when we do that. High knee march just means get your knee up higher than the hip every time you take a step. Next one, set those down. We're gonna do 8 reps of an air squat, and then plant one hand, rotate the other to the sky, plant the other hand, rotate the other to the sky. That's our T-spine rotation. Up, down, plant and rotate, plant and rotate, okay? Last one is 5 push-up, down dog, lizard step, okay? So a little 4-stepper here. So push up, down dog, lizard step left, lizard step right, and then next push-up, okay? That is our warm-up sequence. After that, take your time warming up the squats. We're only warming up to that 55-65% range. This is kamikaze squats, which has a very specific execution method. If you've never done it before, then pick somewhere in the medium range of weight. You should be able to do mid to high teens in reps before your legs give out, okay? So I've seen it happen where somebody did like 36 reps without stopping. I'm like, oh, you probably didn't pick enough. Well, you should have picked like 20 pounds heavier than that. And then I've seen other ones where they only get like 6 or 7 reps on the first set. I'm like, hey, that was a little bit too much. The sweet spot for this is getting to the mid to high teens on the first set. And the way that kamikaze squats work is once you've made your weight selection, you get under the bar and we do our back squat movement. So that is bar supported by the shoulders, right, all the way down and all the way up. And the size of the set is completely dependent on your legs, right? But it should be 1 to 2 reps shy of failure. So where you just start to slow down, your legs are starting to get a little tired and wobbly, maybe some tremors going on as you're coming up, that's about when you stop. When you put the bar back in the rack, you immediately look back and start a running timer of a minute. And usually we'll have the green clock up so you can just tell if it's at 37 seconds, then when it gets back around to the next 37 seconds, you gotta be back underneath the bar. So this is timed recovery. It is not enough recovery for your legs to do the same size set on the second set. And what we're going for is a total of 50 reps. So you just keep a running count of your reps as you're going. So if you get 15 on the first set, take your 1 minute rest exactly and be working on getting your bar out of the rack at the minute mark and then squatting again, right? And so obviously you're not gonna be recovered enough, so your second set is not going to be as big as your first set. And ideally, the profile of rep count per set goes down and down and down as you get closer and closer to that 50 rep mark. And the magic on this one is getting to that close proximity to failure, not hitting failure, and then getting back underneath the bar before you're ready, right? Very potent workout set, and this is our volume squatting for this final cycle before we go into a max out in another 4 or 5 weeks, okay? When you're done with that, we'll put the bar away, and we need 2 dumbbells for the next set, right? And there will be a 20-minute running clock, and we're gonna try to get 4 rounds through this kettlebell complex within that 20-minute clock. And the goal is maybe the first round is kind of a tester. I'm using my light kettlebells. Second, third, and fourth rounds should be challenging. I should be trying to use a kettlebell that gets me close to failure but allows me to continue the whole set. And I realize there's some large gaps between like 35 pounds and 44 pounds, right? And 44 to 53. Do your best with that. If you hit failure, then you can go back down. If you didn't fail, if you get all the way through, I want you to try the next heavier set of kettlebells. All right, so we're gonna start off with bent over kettlebell row. So that's just bent over position and I'm rowing. Next is gonna be a double Russian swing, right? So it's just the same as a normal Russian swing, but with two independent objects in each hand. Next one is gonna be hang cleans, right? So I like to do these from on the inside of my thighs, and I'm pulling up and rotating away from the center line like that, okay? So hinge over, up, and catch at my shoulders. Back to the hips, hinge up, and catch at my shoulders, okay? Next one is gonna be front squats. So all the way down and all the way up, down and up, and then push press is next. And then the final one is just holding that front rack position for a high knee march. Okay, 16 steps on each leg, 32 total, okay? And that is our workout sequence. And that should be a good combination of some strength and some aerobic work with the kettlebell, as well as some finesse and some coordination. That's it for our Monday. Hope you guys have a great one. See you on Tuesday.